Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Tampa Bay Arts Passport Podcast. All those words, so many P's in one sentence. Happy December, everyone. This is my favorite month because we are coming up on the holidays in the end of 2025. Today, we are going to talk to someone who, in their own words, thrived in 2025. They'll explain that a little bit later. But today we're talking to John Perez, who is the new Director of Education for American Stage. I've known John for years. I'm very excited to have this conversation with him. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you continue to like, follow, subscribe to all of the Tampa Bay Arts. Okay, I'm just going to start from I hope you continue to.
Yeah, that's what I was
Okay. 3, 2. I hope you continue to like, subscribe, follow, support, or hate mail the Tampa Bay Arts Passport. All of your support really does mean a lot to us, especially as we close out the year. Coming up in 2026, we do have some quick things to promote. We're taking January off of book club, but then we are coming back in February for the book Florida, which is about kind of the wilderness spookiness of our area, paired with a tour of the Botanical Gardens. And then in March, we're headed to the studio at 620 for an all-female production of Julius Caesar. We have not quite picked that book yet, though, so you can sign up, and then I'll tell you the book later. It's going to be great. And now, please enjoy this conversation with John Perez. All right, hello, everyone, and welcome to John Perez.
Hey.
Oh my gosh, John, I'm so excited to have you here.
I'm excited to be here, Avery. It's good to see you.
How long have we known each other now?
When I was a boy.
Were you ever really a boy, though?
No, I was. No,
I think you were just born a full-grown man.
Hatched from an egg as a full-grown John Perez. No, it's been a few years. I think we met in, 22, 23?
It had to have been early 22, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was right before you did Footloose. And
Correct.
Came on at American Stage.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
That's right, when I met you. It
Yep.
was amazing. And you were an education associate at American Stage when I met you. And the big news, I mean, we're going to talk about a lot of things, but the big news, John Perez is now Director of Education at American Stage.
Yeah.
Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, how do you feel?
Wild, because it's one of those, it really is like a full circle moment for me. So in the season we don't like to talk about, 2019-2020, every arts organization will know why we don't like to talk about that one. But in the 2019-2020 season, I was actually one of the acting and production apprentices at American Stage. So, it's been crazy to go from like truly entry level, like apprentice, to Director of Education. It's been and working a bunch of different areas of the theater between that time and now. It's been a really unique and full circle moment, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that's what every apprentice job is designed to do, right? Is like to give you that springboard. And so to go from like you had an experience with a lot of different departments to then an education associate, a teaching artist,
right,
an actor, a performer, and now to a director level role is really incredible.
Yeah. So I'm still, even though I'm still sort of wrapping my own mind around it, just because, these are the things we work toward, and as fresh out of college, it's okay, I want to get into the scene, and I want to audition, and be a performer full time, and but the more you live some actual life and you work in different areas of the profession, those goals shift and change a bit. And I still very much love performing. I'm still a performer. But yeah, just working with the amount of students, both, children, teens, adults. The priorities shift and goals and dreams shift. So this is just something that, I've certainly thought about, and it's cool to be here now, and I'm still sort of letting it sink in.
Yeah. And I think we should take a moment to honor our elders and those who have come before us. And whenever I think of the word elder, I think of Jose Aviles, obviously. Hello, Jose. I hope you're listening right now.
I was going to let that just sit, and I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. Dear friend of both of ours.
But so... Jose served as director of education, right? And you worked with Jose. So what is it kind of like having that handoff where it's not like you're just walking into, oh, no one's been in this role? Like, has that been a smoother transition? Have there been like new learnings that have come from it? And maybe just what was it like working with Jose while you were there?
Yeah. So it's funny, Jose, when he joined the team, I actually was already working on staff, and I was sort of the sole member of the education team for like a good hot minute. And of course we did have our interim director of education, shout out to Patrick. And it was cool. I was actually in Jose's interview when he interviewed for the position, back then. And it's been cool getting to watch him work and just learning so much under him while I was education outreach associate, that I was able to take what I learned from him and apply it to when I became an elementary school teacher and I was teaching in the actual school system. So yeah, just how he approaches just education in general, specifically cultural responsiveness, and it really was eye-opening just to learn how to communicate and engage with students in cultures that are both very much ours, but also very much not. And of course, just a wealth of knowledge. And it doesn't hurt that we also got along. We became friends through the process. So it was really cool, and it did make for a smoother transition. One, because I've seen a lot of what he's built in the department firsthand, and from there, it was obviously, because I'd stepped away for a couple years. I was still a teaching artist the entire time for American Stage, but seeing the nitty gritty of it all. So there was and is still a lot of learning happening with certain processes, certain things that changed over the years, some things that were modified for the better. But it's just, new to me. So, but Jose is great. I love him.
Yeah. I think what you said about Jose and just the perspective he brings is one of the things I love about him the most, is like he brings such a level of intentionality and care and a really like trauma informed perspective to education, which I think students of all ages, adults and kids, respond really well to. And
absolutely.
So I think that's one of his huge legacies that he gets to leave behind at American Stage.
And I love that, especially those who work close with him. I think he tries to instill that in all teaching artists that have ever worked with him. But definitely that's something I feel like I took away as well, and that's something I hope to continue to not only just continue, but to build upon. Yeah.
Well, that's enough complimenting Jose, because that took everything out of me.
Now let's go ahead and roast Jose. Surprise episode, baby!
No, that'd be too easy.
Yeah.
He'll give me crap for this later.
I know.
Okay, I wanted to ask about, because we've talked about education department, what it is, but maybe like what does the education department at American Stage actually do? Like, give us a rundown of some of the programming, because y'all do a lot.
Yeah, we so it's even though American Stage, compared to the bigger performing arts centers out there, we might be a little smaller, but we are mighty in spirit, and yeah, we absolutely do a lot. We have our drama school, which is comprised of both adult and youth classes. So we offer classes in areas of acting, intermediate acting. We've offered musical theater, voiceover, improv, sketch comedy, those sort of things, and a lot of those same voiceover even, and a lot of those same areas are also offered for our youth and teen classes. Now, we're not offering teen classes at the moment, but we are still very much offering those, triple threat acting, singing, dancing classes, right? For 5 to 7 year olds. And yeah, so we do musical theater, acting. We've even had some film classes for our youth students, which is really incredible to see them shoot their, commercials or their short films. and seeing them walk their little red carpet and have like an actual screening. It's really cool and it's really inspiring. But in addition to that, we also have our outreach programs such as Write On, which is a playwriting initiative. That's actually one of the programs I'm teaching in right now, where we go into Pinellas County schools and we teach playwriting to students either from theater classes, creative writing classes. We're trying to expand our Si Se Puede program, which is the bilingual component, or the ELL components, to Write On, where we go into schools that have large ELL or English language learners students and teach Write On and story structure. In addition to that, we've also got our school tour, which is another outreach program where we take a touring production, usually of a musical, small cast, and they go from school to school performing this play and bringing theater into the school system, into the community. For many students, it's their very first time. For some, maybe their only time seeing live professional theater. And we try to make it a show that has some sort of messaging, something they can take away from it, something that's tied to their curriculum, and also something they can see themselves in. We have our student matinees that we do, which is where we bring students from the school or community groups, and they come see a midweek matinee. They have a talk back. They learn more about the show. They sometimes hear from the cast. It's a big old ship. Keeps going.
Robust offerings.
Yeah.
And all really with like 2 staff members and a plethora of teaching artists.
Absolutely.
Which I want to ask about the teaching artists, because I think it's something that I wish more people knew about, is that like these teaching artists that are working these classes are local working artists.
Absolutely.
So, and like yourself, who was teaching artist for a while. So maybe just talk about like, where do you find these teaching artists? What is that? And why is it important to use folks that are actively working in the community to teach these classes?
Yeah, so we source our teaching artists, sometimes it's those who are living locally that have done shows or have auditioned for shows. Many times they reach out to us because they have an interest in teaching or they have experience in teaching. And from there, I think it's important to have those who are still working the field. I think it lets any student, whether it's a parent of a student or it's an adult taking a class themselves, it's important to have someone who's currently working that way, because that person is also continuing to hone their craft and utilize their craft in a professional sense. And I think people really respond to that. They're artists that are in their community. It's easy to, and don't get me wrong, I love a good workshop that, big names. But in terms of building our own community up, it's a great feeling to see your teacher essentially on a stage doing their thing. For me, I had sort of the reverse sort of the reverse happen recently. I saw Ada and the Engine with Power Stories, and one of my students from a musical theater class I taught, he was one of the leads in the show.
Oh my gosh.
And for me, and I wasn't as familiar with the show, and I'm like, oh my gosh, he's amazing up there. And then he got to sing at the end of the show, and I was like, oh my gosh, now I get to see what he worked on. So vice versa, it also allows us who are in the community, who are doing our best to support and go see all these different shows, to see kind of what we're putting in the world as well. But yeah, we tend to, those of us, especially those visiting artists who do shows at American Stage, if they have an interest in education and they want to build up that skill, yeah, absolutely, let's talk.
Yeah, I love that, because that's what we're trying to do, right? Is build community, get connected, and if you're like just dipping your toe in the water, these classes are great because you just get that little introduction, but they're also great if you're like, hey, I'm actually trying to get to the next level and actually meet some more people and really refine my skills. So I think that's lovely.
Yeah.
You mentioned school tour,
mm-hmm.
which is one of probably my favorite things in the area, because it's like the way we actually get into students' lives.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things where you just see like hundreds of kids like, oh my gosh, like raving and screaming. So talk about what school tour is. American Stage has been doing school tour for decades now.
Yeah.
And this year it's coming up in the spring.
Yeah, well, school tour dates back to when American Stage was known as the Palisades Theater. Like that was kind of our whole thing. So it's a tradition that I think is rooted in the same level as Park, our American Stage in the Park shows. Personally, maybe I'm a little biased being in education, but
it's okay. You can be biased too.
But yeah, so School Tour is a touring production that we take. It's usually about a 1 hour musical. No more than that. I mean, it's not a 1 hour. You know, I'm not sitting there for an hour, but but it's a one act show.
It's not a long show.
It's not a long show. It's a 1 act show, and usually it's something high energy. That's why I like to say it's usually a musical. In the past, we've taken plays and whatnot, but typically it's a musical that we'll take around and we'll tour around Pinellas and Hillsborough counties, and we partner with Pinellas County schools to bring it into as many schools in the area as we can. So it's a lovely, lovely program. You really get to see and hear from the kids themselves, because again, it's easy to pop in a movie. Again, I'm someone who's taught in an elementary school. Arts aren't exactly kept in mind these days when it comes to most things in Florida, right? So this is an example in which we can really, like you said, go into these schools and get that FaceTime with the students. And my favorite thing about it is really seeing their faces light up because for many of them, they've never seen or experienced something like this. Part of my personal mission as a theater artist is to bring theater to people who don't have the same access to it, because it is an accessibility thing. Sometimes people don't know it's there. Sometimes people can't afford to go. So programs like this are imperative to make sure that theater gets into the faces and gets into the minds of these young people. And with that, we try to be intentional with the types of shows we pick to cover topics that, range from acceptance, bullying, something that's going on in the lives of kids today that they can learn and take with them beyond this hour that they're with us.
Yeah, I mean, these are elementary age kids, like you said, for a lot of them, the first time they're ever seeing a play and discovering this whole world of theatrical arts and that sort of thing. So, and this year's show is...
We are doing Polka Dots, the Cool Kids musical. Yeah. Which is a lovely, lovely little show. The music is phenomenal. I'm always impressed at the level that these, like, what could be written off as like, oh, it's a kid show, or like it's a theater for young audiences show. But the music in this is phenomenal. The messaging is phenomenal. This is a anti-bullying story. And yeah, it's just, I think it's something that kids are really going to respond to, especially when we're in a day and age where, how political can I get on this?
Hey, you say listen, what you want to say.
Especially when, there are choices that are made that are out of the control of the people and how they're labeled simply by looking at them. That's as far as I'll go with that. So I think a show like this that's about tolerance and that is about anti-bullying and acceptance, I think is something that the kids need to hear. Now, of course, this was a show that was selected before I got into my current role, but I mean, it's one of those that the more I learn about it and the more I sort of sink my teeth into it, I'm really, really excited to tackle this project.
I love how diplomatically you were in saying we shouldn't bully people in the state of Florida. I hope all of our politicians take that to heart more closely.
Yeah.
I'll say it a little bit more than you will.
I appreciate that.
Because I can. All right, we've talked so much about American Stage, which is lovely and great, and that's, who's paying your bills at the moment.
That's right.
So we need
Cut the check.
But John Perez is also, like, booked and blessed in a million other things in this community, I feel like. Like, every week you're like, I'm doing this reading, I'm directing here.
Yeah. You
just closed Midsummer's Night Dream at Think Tank Theater.
Yeah.
Like, girlfriend, you are doing a lot.
Yeah,
hair flip, and then cry in the corner as you try.
And then sit in my car for 5 minutes before I walk back into my house. Car off, no radio.
So talk about what have you recently done, and just like what is it like juggling all of these creative projects while having a life, while also having a job?
Yeah, I mean, hey, it is not for the weak-willed. I'll say that much. No, it's been hectic. My life has been a little bit crazy, especially as we're getting closer to the end of the year. It continues to get more and more hectic, and it will only be more hectic. Mm-hmm. But that's okay. I feel like everything I've experienced up until this point has sort of prepared me for this. So yeah, I just did Midsummer. Beautiful, hilarious, fun time. My first professional Shakespeare.
Oh really?
Up until this point, I didn't think about this till toward the end of rehearsals. I was like, I haven't done a Shakespeare since college. Like a fully produced. There's some Zoom recordings of Shakespeare out there of me somewhere, but I haven't done like a professional Shakespeare ever. And then I thought about it even further. I haven't done like a straight play. This is my first like professional straight play that I've done.
Yeah, because you're very much a musical theater.
I very much have done musicals. I have been called back for plenty of plays. Never got booked. So that was really cool. That was a new challenge for me, and I'm someone who, even if I do cry in the corner a couple times throughout the process, I very much do appreciate a good challenge, a good artistic challenge, because it just, I don't know, I feel like it equips me both as an artist but also as an educator to know what it's like to experience the challenges and the successes of it all. So yeah, I had Midsummer. And in between all that, I've also been, I directed the Enough Plays Against Gun Violence for Think Tank Theater a little bit toward the end of summer, which is always a beautiful experience, one that I certainly hope we don't have to do someday, as a cautionary tale. And not as a response, but what's beautiful about that is that those are plays written by high school students, really getting to express how they feel about everything, because they're the group that's not listened to the most, even though they're the ones who most experience it. Getting to do that with both professional working actors and local high schoolers, or up and coming professionals in the area, was also, I think, really helped bolster that and the messaging of that. So that was really beautiful. I had a big year with Think Tank. Shout out to Georgia. I also directed for my third Playfest reading. I directed a reading of a play called My Tree by Samara Siskin. Shout out to you. And again, it was a beautiful experience. And yeah, then we've got tour coming up in January, starting rehearsals for that. And I'm also going to be directing a sort of more immersive reading, is what I like to call it, of a show at the Patel Conservatory. It's called To the Stars, written by Corey Kennedy Barrow. And yeah, it's a theater for very young audiences piece. So it's for like 2 to 5 year olds. Which I'm also very, very excited about, because one of my earliest teaching artist memories is I was teaching a class, and it was we were learning a song. I'm like, all right, everyone, just, if you can't, I know you can't read music, just read the lyrics. And had someone raise their hand and say, Mr. John, I don't know how to read. I said, I didn't think of that. This was early on in my educational career. So it's going to be cool to see how we modify and really immerse them. Because it is a reading, but we are going to try and utilize the entirety of the environment to let the kids roam around as they feel and really be the explorers. It's a very like space and stars themed sort of thing. So
love it.
Yeah. So it's it's a busy time of year, but hey, I'm not complaining.
I mean, are there any times of year that aren't busy for you?
No, because then right after school tour, we're gonna already be in the the throes of spring classes, and we'll also be just barreling towards summer camp.
Summer camp.
Yep, that's the education department's park show of the year is summer camp.
And summer camp is just one of the biggest events that American Sage puts on. It's just multiple weeks of classes for students of all ages. It's like truly the Olympics of education. Yeah,
and so we, if you happen to see us in the office, give us a coffee or give us a hug, because it's going to be a crazy year.
Or how about sign your kid up for summer camp?
Ooh, that's even better.
And then give you a coffee when they drop them off.
That's right.
That's what should happen.
Absolutely. Every Starbucks gift card is required with every
sign up.
Or a Kawa gift card.
But I do, as we start to wrap up, I do want to mention about summer camp, because I love summer camp so much. It's truly like another thing American Sage has done for decades. And there's so many people I talk to in this community who are like, oh, I remember going to summer camp as a kid, or my kid went to summer camp and now they're a professional actor, playwright, dramaturg. Like, for so many students in our area, American Sage summer camp is that moment of like, ooh, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I can find myself.
Yeah, we're already starting to see some of that. One of our teaching artists, that's exactly what her track was, and she's one of our teaching artists now, is that she took our summer camp, did them every year, took classes, and now she is on staff. She's my protege, I like to call her. And we're starting to see that with even some of our students. We've had students that have been cast in park shows, like in Ragtime. We have students that are making their way, that are going to PCCA and these big arts programs. So we're starting to see the work that they put in our programming really come to fruition in really, really beautiful, awesome ways. So in the future, I just hope to get to see them, get to buy a ticket to see them in one of our shows or beyond.
And what I love about everything y'all do at education, but especially around the camps and the summer camp production, is it's very different than like what we call like traditional like pay for play programming, where it's like you pay to basically be in a show.
Right.
Where like this truly is about, you work with those students to find where they best fit, where can they be to help them grow and explore as a human, as a kid. And that's what I love about it. It's not just like, just put a kid in a role because they want to be on a stage, but it's really about where can they grow as an artist, which I think is so helpful for them.
It's not just as an artist. A lot of what we do, and again, this comes from my background as an elementary school teacher, where so much of what they learn in the schools is simple life skills. How to, I'm dialing back a lot, but how to be a human, and just how to be a person, a good human, preferably a good human. So a lot of the skills that they learn in theater are things that you want them to take into their lives, either at school or if they're starting a job somewhere, even if it's their first job at like a Panera or something, I don't know, some local cafe. We want them to learn life skills through the arts. And those students who want to make this like a lifestyle, who want to make this a career one day, like this is what they want to do, there's a place for that too. And the same way we find teaching artists, and sometimes it happened to me. I didn't know I was going to be a teaching artist until they asked me until I was asked if I wanted to teach, and I said yes. So learning that there are multiple things they can do with all of these skills they're developing. But absolutely, we want to not just tell them you're great for the sake of telling you you're great. You are great. Here's how we can make you even better. And taking them where they're at. Yeah.
I love it. Okay, we got to start wrapping up.
All right.
So we have some final rapid fire questions.
Okay.
That I forgot to send you ahead of time, so you're
going in blind. All right.
I told, in my defense, I did tell you before we started, but you did not have time to really ruminate on these, like my more favorite guests. I gotta prepare. So, first question: what does artistic community mean to you?
Artistic community, to me, is a community that uses their art for their community and not just for the art. Does that make sense? I can try that again.
No. I think it makes sense, but maybe like, if you want to explain it a little bit.
I think what's really important right now for this particular time in our history, as much as, listen, talk about being a musical theater guy, as much as I love a big show and a popular show, and I think those are needed. I think those are needed to, keep the lights on anywhere. But I think finding those shows, or at least using those shows and telling those stories in a way that speaks to your community, and not just, I think we have to sort of be more welcoming to those who aren't necessarily artists to be in the artistic community, to feel welcome there, and for it to not feel like, oh, well, that's that thing.
Not for me.
Right. Yeah. So I guess what I'm really trying to say is to open the doors, or have open doors, to those beyond the artistic community. That's what I think we need more of. I don't know if that really answers the question, but that's kind of where my feelings are.
No, but I think it does, right? When we think, what does it mean to you, is just making sure it's an open space.
Right. Yeah.
I always think about, there's 5 million people that live in the Tampa Bay counties that, make up our region. There are not 5 million people going to artistic organizations in the area. There are so many people that live here that do not go through those doors. And so how do we truly serve the whole of our community?
Right. And I think we as an arts community, I think, and I know that there are people who are boots on the ground really doing that work and really trying to make that happen. I just think as a whole, I think we could all stand to do a little more of that and be more welcoming to the community at large, to bolster our community.
Totally. I love it. Okay, and then maybe this leads into the next question.
Okay.
In one word, and then you can explain your one word. What is your hope for the arts in Tampa Bay?
Resilience. Yeah. Again, I know I keep going back to it, but just in such a divisive and tumultuous time that we're in, it's difficult. It's hard for everybody. It's hard for everybody out here right now. Whether it's the price of things going up, whether, your, families are experiencing what they may be experiencing, using our art and our spaces as a way to continue to tell stories, bring light, bring joy. It's tough to do when so much is stacked against you. So to find the strength and the resilience to keep doing those things, even if what you can do is offer someone a couple hours of escapism, that's a feat of strength. And I think that's what I want to see more of, and I hope to see more of.
Yeah. I think the art of laughter and joy right now is an act of resilience in this moment.
Absolutely.
At least for me. Speaking from the eye. Because, 2025's been wild, my friend. And here we are.
Yeah.
Making art. And we're going to keep doing it.
In 2025, we 2020 thrive.
I'm so glad
that we're ending this.
That you thrived in 2025. Good for you, friend.
Well, all right, anyway.
I mean, I like the rhyming pattern.
Yeah.
That Shakespeare show really paid off for you, I can see.
Yep. There it is.
William better watch out.
Hey, Bill, I'm coming for you.
All right, last question. If you could have dinner with any artist, living or deceased, who would you pick?
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's my guy. So yes, I am a big fan of his, but also what I'm a big fan of really though is I'm always drawn to passion, and I'm drawn to hard work ethic, and he just seems like someone who at least front facing is very much that, and those are two qualities that I try to lead my life with. And those are really qualities instilled by like my mom. Hardest working woman I've ever met. But taking pride in what you do, work, always striving to be one of the hardest workers, if not the hardest worker in the room. And just leading with passion. It doesn't matter if I'm, director of education or if I'm folding shirts at Kohl's, this is one of my college jobs. You take pride in what you do, and you lead with passion. You lead with a drive to get the job done, and get the job done well. So that's someone I would want to pick his brain more over dinner and tequila, probably.
And this is kind of your way of announcing. Can we share the news that you were The Rock's stunt double on the live action Moana?
Yeah, if I were to take out my hair, you'd see my long hair. Yeah. Here's the thing. He was more my dialogue double, because I was doing I was doing the stunts. I was waving the hook around.
Do you have a favorite Rock movie that he's been in?
Ooh, I do love Moana quite a bit. Do I have a favorite? Oh my gosh, you put me on the spot. Well, as much as I love him, a lot of his movies are kind of the same. So like I do love Jumanji. I hopefully by the time this airs, I'll have watched The Smashing Machine, and that'll be my favorite. WrestleMania 40 is my favorite Rock movie.
Jumanji's good.
I do like Jumanji.
Jumanji's solid.
I like Hobbs and Shaw. It's a good, funny, silly time. I like The Game Plan.
Yeah.
You remember The Game Plan?
Where he was the Tooth Fairy with Julie Andrews, right?
No, that's the Tooth Fairy.
But no, okay, that might be my favorite.
It was a Disney one. He was like a football player, and he had like a daughter that he didn't know he had.
Don't all the football players?
Oof, I'm not gonna touch that one. But that one was good.
Yeah, I do remember that one.
Yeah,
but I like Tooth Fairy.
Yeah,
because just him and the little wings cracked me up. I almost said Pacifier, but then I was like, oh no, that was Vin Diesel.
That's Vinny D.
Yeah,
they were in Fast and the Furious.
I love the Pacifier.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
I don't think I've ever seen it. Yeah.
What? It's just like such an iconic action spy movie that's so camp, and like, what is happening right now with like the sound of music thrown in, because why not?
Because Julie Andrews is there.
She wasn't. That's the Tooth Fairy. Don't get it wrong.
Okay, now I'm getting
okay, we're going to end here now because this has gone off the rails. John, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having
me. Everyone, please make sure you follow John and all of their amazing work, and sign up for a class, sign your kid up for a class at American Stage's Education Department.
Yep, americanstage.org/education. You can learn all about our programming, and if there's something that entices you or you think your kid might be into, shoot us an email. If you have any questions, give us a call. I'll be happy to talk to you. You'll probably hear from me.
Wow, look at John. Put in one more plug-in before we go.
Had to.
All right. Thank you, John. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks, Avery.
Well, again, thank you so much to John Perez for coming on. Please go watch Moana. Go watch Game Day. Go watch Tooth Fairy. Go watch The Pacifier. That's my hope for John Perez in 2026. No, truly, thank you to John for coming on. Arts education is so important, and this was such a valuable conversation. Please do check out American Stage's education program. They have so many classes and camps coming up for both students and adults. Thank you for listening to the Arts Passport podcast. Continue to like and subscribe for all of our future episodes. Talk to you soon. Bye.